Welcome back to K-pop&juice, beautiful people. If you've ever watched two stars share a screen and thought, wait, this feels too real to be just acting, then today's story is going to hit you right in the heart. Because sometimes chemistry isn't created by scripts, lighting, or perfect camera angles. Sometimes it slips out in glances, nervous smiles, and moments that weren't meant to be noticed. And for years, fans have whispered about one pair who made the entire world believe in something deeper. The soft-spoken prince of K-drama, Park Bo-gum, and the sunshine-bright actress who grew up before our eyes, Yoo Jung. What if we told you that the truth fans always felt might not have been imagination at all? Let's go back to where everything truly began. When the two were cast together in the historical romance drama Love in the Moonlight, expectations were already sky-high. He was the nation's gentle heartthrob, known for his sincerity and kindness. She was the beloved child actress transitioning into leading lady status with grace that felt almost unreal. On paper, it was perfect casting. On screen, it became something else entirely, something that made viewers lean forward, hold their breath, and wonder why their scenes felt less like performance and more like private memories unfolding in public. From the very first episode, there was a softness between them that cameras usually struggle to capture. Not explosive passion, not overdramatic tension. Instead, something quieter, warmer, almost fragile. The kind of energy you feel when two people are hyper-aware of each other's presence. Fans started noticing the way he looked at her, not just as a co-star, but as if he was constantly trying to protect her from the world. And she, in return, seemed to glow brighter whenever he was near. Like a flower turning toward sunlight. But here's where things became impossible to ignore. Behind-the-scenes clips began circulating online. Not dramatic footage, not staged fan service, just candid moments. He adjusting her costume gently. She laughing at something he whispered off mic. The way he would step slightly closer whenever she looked nervous during filming. None of it screamed romance, yet none of it looked ordinary either. It felt instinctive. Like closeness that didn't require effort. Fans started calling them Moonlight soulmates. And then came the interviews. Whenever they were asked about each other, their answers were polite, respectful, perfectly professional, yet their expressions told a different story. Park Bo-gum would smile in that shy, boyish way of his, eyes crinkling, voice softening almost unconsciously. Yoo Jung, usually composed and articulate, would suddenly giggle, pause, or glance down as if choosing her words too carefully. At one press conference, when asked to describe her co-star, she said he was someone who makes people feel comfortable. Simple. Safe. But the way she said it, slow, thoughtful, almost tender, sent fans into emotional chaos. Because comfort, in the language of the heart, is rarely just friendship. Bo-gum's response about her was even more revealing. He didn't talk about her talent first. He didn't mention professionalism. He said she was bright, warm, and someone who gives strength to people around her. It sounded less like a colleague's compliment and more like admiration that had quietly grown over time. Then came the moment many fans still talk about years later. During a promotional event, Yoo Jung appeared visibly nervous before going on stage. Cameras caught Park Bo-gum leaning in, speaking to her softly, his expression serious yet gentle. She nodded, smiled, and instantly relaxed. It wasn't dramatic, but it felt intimate, like a private reassurance shared in a crowded room. You know that feeling when someone's presence alone steadies you? That's what it looked like. And Park Bo-gum couldn't hide it anymore. Not in the way you might expect. He didn't confess love. He didn't break professionalism. But his behavior shifted in subtle ways that spoke louder than words. He became more attentive, more protective, more openly affectionate in small, appropriate gestures. The careful distance many actors maintain with co-stars simply wasn't there. Fans began noticing something else too. He listened to her differently. When she spoke, he didn't just wait for his turn. He watched her face, reacted to her words, laughed at the smallest comments. It was the kind of attentive focus people usually reserve for someone very important. And Yoo Jung's reactions? Equally telling. She seemed to trust him completely, not just as a colleague, but as someone safe enough to be vulnerable around. In group settings, she often angled her body slightly toward him. When others spoke, she glanced at him as if checking his reaction. When he joked, her laughter came faster and lingered longer. Psychologists call this mirroring, an unconscious sign of emotional connection. But fans didn't need psychology textbooks to feel it, they felt it in their bones. Of course, the two never confirmed anything romantic. Both are known for their humility, discipline, and respect for their careers. Park Bo-gum, especially, has always been incredibly private about his personal life. He embodies that rare celebrity quality, genuine kindness without spectacle. Kim Yoo Jung, having grown up in the spotlight, carries a maturity that keeps her guarded in the healthiest way. Yet sometimes the truth isn't in what people say, it's in what they can't quite hide. Years after their drama ended, the warmth between them never seemed to fade. Whenever they crossed paths at award shows or public events, the atmosphere around them changed subtly. Not dramatic, not headline-grabbing, just a softness that returned instantly, like two people slipping back into a familiar rhythm. One particularly touching moment happened when they met again on stage for an award presentation. As they stood side by side, there was a brief pause, a shared smile, slightly shy, slightly nostalgic. Fans described it as looking like two people remembering something precious at the same time. No script, no characters, just Park Bo-gum and Kim Yoo Jung. And that's when many realized, whatever existed between them, it wasn't something that disappeared when filming ended. So what is the truth fans always felt? Maybe it isn't a secret relationship. Maybe it isn't a hidden confession waiting to be revealed. Maybe it's something rarer in the entertainment world. Genuine affection that never needed a label. A bond formed at the perfect moment in both their lives, preserved in memory, carried forward quietly. Think about it. Not every deep connection becomes romance. Some become something even more enduring. A person who changes you gently, who leaves warmth behind long after you part ways. Park Bo-gum once spoke in an interview about valuing people who bring good energy into his life. Kim Yoo Jung has said she treasures relationships that feel natural and sincere. When you place those two philosophies side by side, it almost feels like puzzle pieces clicking together. Could they simply have been exactly what the other needed at that time? Fans often romanticize celebrity relationships, but sometimes what touches us most is authenticity. The reason their pairing still resonates isn't just because they looked beautiful together. It's because they felt real. Their interactions mirrored the kind of quiet, respectful affection many people hope to experience in their own lives. No grand gestures, no dramatic declarations, just kindness, trust, and a softness that never felt forced. And maybe that's why Park Bo-gum couldn't hide it anymore. Not because he was trying to reveal anything, but because genuine warmth naturally shows itself. You can rehearse lines, you can control public statements, but micro-expressions, instinctive gestures, protective instincts, those slip through the cracks. They tell stories words never do. So now we turn to you, K-pop&juice family. When you watched them together, what did you feel? Did it seem like pure friendship, first love energy, or something that doesn't fit into neat categories at all? Do you think some connections are meant to stay unspoken to remain pure? Or are you secretly hoping that one day, years from now, we'll get a surprise reunion that makes the entire world scream? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because honestly, this is one of those stories where every fan becomes a detective of the heart. And here's one last thought to carry with you. In an industry built on illusion, Park Bo-gum and Yoo Jung gave us something that didn't feel manufactured. Whether it was friendship, admiration,